I'm somehow a bit of an awkward person in my character, but my music is really how I feel most like accurate in communicating. So I think part of this awkwardness is actually like why I really like need to make music, and why being a musician is like very like a very important part of my life and understanding of the world. It's like it's really like a language for me. But my sound, I use a lot of field recordings. I think it's very context related, especially like because I'm traveling a lot and, you know, responding to different environments. Maybe it's not always so obvious because I mutate the sound so much, but like I really kind of, I know when I'm listening to like even the most mutated and deconstructed field recording or sample, I really like know the place and the experience that it comes from, and that also, like, you know, it's part of how it's a fabric of communication, that I'm like, you know, relating these moments in a kind of storm of sound. I mean, I guess there's like maybe like an obvious pro sometimes, like, I mean, in the last years definitely of my generation, there's more kind of conscious effort to represent women in like more than, you know, previous generations in the scene. So I guess there's sometimes a positive discrimination like factor that I feel like I might have benefited from. I don't like I feel like there's not been too many negatives for me personally, but I also like I think it might be a special like case with myself, because like I sort of don't use like my identity or like persona so much in my performance. Like I really almost feel like I disembody when I'm making music, so it's sort of like becoming something like almost immaterial and like transhuman. And this is kind of like what I really enjoy about performing. So like I don't relate it too much like back to like what I exist as a human or a social subject. I've been very like not always remembering my dreams, but when I was a child, if it's relevant, I had this very strange dream where I was like pulling like an infinite chain like from my mouth, like from my throat. It was kind of like this, like just like you're trying to get this thing out of your body, but it's like never ending. It's kind of like these like loop dreams. I think that it's also like reoccurring, but then you're also stuck in a loop. I think that it's kind of like maybe some form of like metaphor for like understanding like yourself, like this relationship with an unconscious self, that you're like, you can never really like have a conclusion to that. I'm very like passionate, I guess, about the visual like arts as well as the sound, but I also feel like there's for me a lot of overlap, kind of like I think it's not even like there's a similar thing that I can express in like different mediums sometimes, but I mean I'd say definitely like film and painting to some degree, and like theatre is actually something that I would like to get into more. Like I used to do like a lot of improvised theatre when I was young, and I often thought it was a reason why I got into improvised music, or why it was somehow like very natural to me. But that's something that I'd like to pursue maybe. Is it like heaven or hell? It's like an abstract. Maybe I need like some form of self-defense if I'm going to hell. But if it's funny though, because I was just thinking about like a lot of this thing about, in order to get into like paradise in a lot of places, there's this thing of like having no like attachment, or like being totally detached. So it's almost like you like maybe if it's a trick question, the answer would be like nothing, because you don't want anything from the material world. It's like has no value in comparison to the afterlife. But maybe, I would maybe bring my my laptop if it was possible. But no, I don't know. Yeah, I think like, yeah. Also, the voice alone. I think if I could still be like making music in the afterlife, then I wouldn't. Maybe I could do it acoustically. Yes, it's really, it's hard. I have like many questions without answers. When are you going to make your horror movie? I could ask myself. I could say like maybe when I have like time, but also maybe when I have enough people in the same space who I would like to be inside of this. And when I say horror movie, I would mean more like just like some kind of group collaboration with lots of different voices, and then like some visual collaboration of visual and theatrical. This is maybe part of the wanting to do something more within the theatre world. Yes.